Hello and welcome back. So this is part 3 and the final part of understanding the new NPS exit as well as the withdrawal rules. Now in the last topic, in the last explainer videos related to it, we have been understanding the new rules which were related to the entry exit age, normal exit, then even we understood the premature exit, the exit due to death, and we saw that NPS from protection, primarily it has become more flexible to the real needs of the subscribers. Okay, so today we will be discussing the partial withdrawal. So partial withdrawal में क्या है? Partial withdrawal, what is it? Partial withdrawal means you are withdrawing from your corpus, from the NPS corpus, but आपका जो NPS corpus है, that will continue. Okay, you have not exited from it. And what was premature exit that we did last time? Premature exit is that आप आपका NPS account जो है वो close कर रहे हो subject to annuitization. Okay, so today we will be understanding partial withdrawal. Partial withdrawal में जो rules है, जैसे कि what is the limit for partial withdrawal, what is the availability? So it is available after subscribing to minimum of 3 years. मतलब कि आपको 3 years के लिए you have to stay put on the NPS scheme, only then you will be able to partially withdraw. So उसमें कुछ change नहीं आया है, that remains the same even in the new guidelines. So what is it? For the limit is up to 25% of your own contribution. That also remains same. Own contribution means कि NPS में आपका भी contribution है, एम्प्लॉयर का भी कॉन्ट्रीब्यूशन है. जो आपका कॉन्ट्रीब्यूशन है उसमें से ही आप 25% आप विड्रॉ कर सकते हो. सो दैट ऑल्सो रिमेन्स द सेम बिकॉज NPS जो है इट इज़ अ लॉन्ग टर्म रिटायरमेंट व्हीकल, राइट? सो दैट्स वाई देयर विल बी कंडीशंस टू द विड्रॉवल. फॉर सब्सिक्वेंट पार्शियल विड्रॉवल मीन्स अगर आपने एक विड्रॉवल किया है, नेक्स्ट विड्रॉवल जो है दैट विल बी मेड ऑन द इंक्रीमेंटल ओन कॉन्ट्रीब्यूशन. Okay, only that will be considered for the next withdrawal. So that also remains the same. So overall, nothing has changed related to the partial withdrawal limit. So let's understand with an example. So there is Miss Ananya, she joined the NPS in 2018. उसका जो contribution है that till 2021 means 3 years. That means now she is eligible for partial withdrawal because she has been for 3 years in the scheme. Abhi now she needs money for child's higher education. So that is a permitted purpose. So now let's see पहला जो partial withdrawal है after 3 years that she can remove it 25% of own contribution. Own contribution कितना है? 4 lakh. 4 lakh में से 25% if she removes मतलब 1 lakh she can withdraw as partial withdrawal. Now that is the first withdrawal. What I explained? Second withdrawal में it will be limited to the incremental amount, not what is lying in the NPS corpus. So now after the first withdrawal she has contributed 2 lakh more. Second partial withdrawal, only this 2 lakh will be allowed, not the one that 3 lakh was left, right? 3 lakh plus 2 lakh उसके ऊपर नहीं. After withdrawing 1 lakh, 3 lakh was left along with some interest that she will get, plus 2 lakh now she has withdrawn. So 3 plus 2 पे she can't withdraw. She has to withdraw only from this 2 lakh का incremental amount. So that means 25% of 2 lakh means she can withdraw only 50,000. So that is remains the same for both the revised as well as the existing provision. Now let's look at what has actually changed. So what is the frequency? पहले जो था tenure of the subscription में frequency was 3 times. Means during before exit क्या था पहले कि normal exit was considered 60 years. Okay, so normal exit means before 60 years she can withdraw frequency 3 बार she can partially withdraw from the NPS. But there was no interval कि 3 if you are withdrawing between 3 years like 1, 2, 3, what should be the gap between each year? That was not stipulated. But that has been clarified in the new provisions, in the new guidelines. So earlier there was no gap, but ये जो change आया है, so that strikes a balance because now subscribers can get one additional withdrawal opportunity. Because पहले frequency was 3 times, but now it has increased to 4 times. and this we are talking before 60 years of age. So in revised guidelines ये पूरा structure है before 60 years, post 60 years, because now the exit age जो है that has increased to 85 years. So before 60 years of age, frequency was 4 times. Now it's become 4 times, and interval also has been clarified. So जो gap है that ensures कि जो NPS है that continues to serve its primary purpose. Primary purpose क्या है? Long term retirement savings. So earlier जो partial withdrawal था that was not permitted post 60, but under the revised guidelines में जो partial withdrawal है now that is allowed even after 60 years of age. Frequency is not applicable, means there is no cap on the frequency, how many times you can withdraw, but interval 3 years है between two partial withdrawals. और एक condition है that it should not exceed 25%. 25% of what? Contribution. Whose contribution? अगर एक ही stream है means आपका ही contribution जा रहे, then it will be limited to that own contribution. And if it is only one contribution stream, means only employer is contributing, you are not contributing, then it will be from that contribution stream. Okay, so we understood that before 60 years of age, post 60 years of age, these are the conditions. Now let's clarify this with an example, and it will become more clear, okay, what we have done till what guidelines we have understood now related to the frequency. So case 1 is, pehle we will do before age of 60 or before superannuation. Suppose Mr. Rahul, he joined the NPS at the age of 30 in 2020. Partial withdrawals are allowed before exit. Okay, we saw that before 60 partial withdrawal is allowed. So what is the conditions? 4 times frequency, and between each withdrawal there should be 4 years ka gap. So minimum 4 years of gap and maximum 4 partial withdrawals. So if we look at the timeline, so 30 में he joined the NPS. After 4 years he can do partial withdrawal. Okay, so at the age of 34 that will be his first withdrawal. At the age of 38 that will be his second partial withdrawal. 2032 में when he is 42 he can do the third partial withdrawal, and 2036 में fourth partial withdrawal. After this, very important, no further partial withdrawal is allowed before the age of 60. Okay, now we will understand after the age of 60. After the age of 60, Miss Kavita, we will take her example. She is 61 years of age. She continues in NPS after superannuation. Now we saw that कुछ cap नहीं है, no fixed maximum number how it was for before 60. So after 60 there is no limit, but there should be a minimum gap of 3 years between each partial withdrawal, and contribution का limit is also up to 25%. Okay, we saw that ये तो partial withdrawal का ही जो first guideline that we did it, that जो limit है partial withdrawal का, that is 25%. So that only will be continued. But when you can withdraw it between 3 years. So when she is 61 years of age, she can do partial withdrawal 25. But then after 3 years she can do the next withdrawal, and after 3 years when it is 2031 she can do the next partial withdrawal. She can do even after 3 years, she can go on and on, but this 25% ka limit should be respected and withdrawal is allowed. Now we will understand this 25% limit in case 3. So Neha, she has 2 contribution streams in NPS. उसका जो own contribution है वो 6 lakh है. Employer का जो contribution है वो 4 lakh है. So important rule क्या है? More than one contribution stream. ये पहला contribution stream है, ये second. So when there are 2 contribution stream, only own contribution will be considered. So maximum partial withdrawal जो है, it's allowed on this 6 lakh and not on this 4 lakh. So 1,50,000 she can withdraw. Now moving to the enhanced partial withdrawal rules. So in this we will be understanding the purpose related to the partial withdrawal. So existing guidelines में क्या था? You can partially withdraw but not for every case. So construction of house or purchase of house, only and only if the subscriber does not already own a house other than the ancestral property. So if he's owning an ancestral property, that's fine, he can withdraw for purchase of his own house. Okay, but if he already has a house for his own house for his second house, then it is not permitted. So what the revised guideline says, that no change, but it has clarified its stance with respect to purchase or construction of residential property. ये जो rule है, that remains unchanged. A subscriber is eligible only if they do not already own a house other than ancestral property. However, ये जो revised guidelines है, it brings out an important clarification कि ये जो facility है, it is now clearly specified कि it is only and only for one-time withdrawal, right? So in other words, subscriber can use the NPS for buying or constructing a house only once during the entire tenure. ये जो revised guidelines है, it significantly broadens the scope of it, where in medical treatment. So medical treatment में, now we have done this house का. Now moving on to the medical treatment. Medical treatment में पहले एक list था, specified illness. Okay, one comprehensive list था. What are the illnesses, and for subscribers, spouse, children, parents, okay, all can avail of it. But abhi it has broadened, it has become broad, the scope has become quite broad, because partial withdrawal jo hai, now it is permitted for medical treatment. Ab hospitalize ho jayenge for whichever kind of illness, whichever kind of disease. It is not limited to any specified list. So both ये जो construction of the house है and this medical जो reason है, purpose है, so what it addresses, both are aimed at addressing the genuine life needs, and that too without diluting the long-term retirement objective of NPS. So that is related to the enhanced partial withdrawal rules. Let's look at some examples. As usual, Mr. Rohit, he does not own a house, he owns an ancestral house. So that means he's eligible for partial withdrawal. He uses NPS partial withdrawal, but he can use it only once to purchase his first residential house. But now he cannot use it again because it can be used only once. What about medical purpose? It has become more broadened. Now Miss Pooja, she needs funds for her father's hospitalization. As we know that it's for the subscriber's spouse, parents, children. Now, even though the illness is not on the specified list, she is still allowed partial withdrawal under the revised rules. So, as we saw, the clarification is made कि जो housing का withdrawal है, that remains one time, but medical जो withdrawal needs है, that is now allowed for any treatment, okay, or hospitalization. What about the other purposes? So, earlier there was skill development, reskilling, establishing startups के लिए you could withdraw, but वो now it has been removed. But in place of that, a new purpose has been introduced, and it reflects a more structured and regulated approach. Okay, partial withdrawal is now permitted to settlement of a financial obligation of the subscriber as well, provided the loan or obligation has been taken from a regulated financial institution, can be a bank, NBFC, and there has to be a lien or charge marked on the NPS account. So ये जो आप change देख रहे हो, okay, it clearly signals a shift कि from funding aspiration or entrepreneurial activities, it has addressed a more formal documented financial liability. So as we can see, this is the change. Means अगर आपको skill development, reskilling, startup के लिए आपने loan लिया है, okay, and if it is marked, you have charged it on the NPS account through a lien or, okay, so then you can settle this obligation by partially withdrawing from your NPS and paying off that loan. So this is another change, another flexible change that is for the benefit of the subscriber. So earlier allowed but now removed. Now Amit, he wanted to remove the money for skill development course, but that is no longer permitted under the revised rules. Miss Ria, she plans to use the NPS to start her business, but that has been removed. But now she could take the loan, but she has to charge it on the NPS through a lien. Took a loan by creating a lien on his NPS account. Later he uses partial withdrawal from NPS to settle his loan. ये जो withdrawal है that is allowed under the revised guidelines. So now let's understand financial assistance against the pension corpus. So as we saw, you can assign a pledge also of the NPS benefit. Earlier क्या था, if you assign or pledge the NPS benefit, then it stands void. Okay, now the revised one, what it says, that ये जो subscribers है, they could not earlier use it, right, for raising the funds. But now the subscriber can seek financial assistance from a regulated financial up to 25% of subscribers' own contribution, but it will be strictly governed because it is governed, it will be strictly governed by the authority. So it ensures कि ये जो that it is strictly oversight है, and even the retirement का जो corpus है that is also protected. So overall ये जो change है that introduces controlled liquidity. It allows ये जो subscribers है to access the credit against NPS without compromising the long-term retirement objective of the scheme. So if we look at this example, Mr. Raj, he has an NPS account, own contribution is 8 lakh. Under the revised rule, he can approach a financial institution, okay, a bank or NBFC for financial assistance. But what is a lien that will be charged on it? 25% of own contribution, means 2 lakh. So lender can mark a lien on his NPS account for 2 lakh, and through that he can give him a loan, and then only and only if there is a lien on his NPS account, he can make a partial withdrawal to repay this loan. So this is a new guideline, the new rule that has been introduced in the NPS withdrawal and exit rules. Now this ये जो definition of accumulated pension wealth है, that also has been changed, because earlier क्या था? Earlier the definition of accumulated pension wealth scheme means monetary value of the pension investments which has been accumulated in the permanent retirement account of the subscriber. Now it means the monetary value of that has been accumulated in each pension account. So if we look at the example, if Rahul had tier 1 12 lakh उसमें, tier 2 3 lakh, then accumulated pension wealth है 15 lakh. Means ये जो exit rules है, exit withdrawal rules है, that was on the entire corpus of this 15 lakh. But now it will be applicable on each account, because tier 1 is considered as one account, tier 2 is considered as another account. So exit withdrawal rules will apply on tier 1, likewise it will apply on tier 2. So ये जो change है, it brings in better clarity, better account level transparency, and more precise application of NPS that is related to the exit norms. So with that, we come to the end of this topic. This was the final topic of NPS, and we understood that throughout the lecture, throughout the all 3 explainer videos, what was the main gist, okay, of it. It shows that ये जो core objective है of NPS as a long-term retirement vehicle, that remains intact, right? But we saw on the other hand that ये जो system है that has become more practical and more responsive to the real life needs of the subscriber. So hence we saw that they have considered the subscriber on the forefront. So with that, we wrap this topic, the explainer videos on NPS, and thank you so much for listening. Stay tuned on the channel to understand more such schemes. Thank you so much.